What's up, guys? John L here. Hope you're all doing well. Nightcrawler time, right? So, the hunt is on. That's one way where you can get Nightcrawler. I'm playing level 8. I don't want to play level 9. If you want to play level 9, top 200 finishers will be able to get the blue elf. And I am playing level 8. It's a little bit wound down. It only allows the top 100 to get it, but if you don't want to put in the extra effort of fighting everything just a little bit more difficult, then level 8 is the place to be. So that's what I'm doing. That's one way of getting him. Shield training is up, so they're doing the same thing like they did with Rogue. I'm assuming shield training has been changed up a little bit. There's some updates on the Marvel Puzzle Quest forums, which might be worth checking out. But I'm going to jump into it. If it's the same as what they did with Rogue, I'm assuming that we're going to get a shot of demoing the new 4-star Nightcrawler. So I'll make a video about that, which is what this will be, and then I'll make a separate video about just running through shield training. We'll see what it's like, and what the differences are, and all that kind of fun stuff. So let's get into it. Okay, so we got a Quake, we got a Thing, and we got a Captain Falcon, and I'm assuming they have Quake in there because I think one of Nightcrawler's powers is a resistance to team damage, so that is cool. I was wondering about that, and just like I assumed, he's a featured character. So let's just use a really stripped down team, the characters that they give us for demo, just so we can kind of string this fight out. And let's take a look at Nightcrawler. So they're using Amazing X-Men cover right here. He's a 553, he is a purple, red, and blue, which again is appropriate. Some of the characters previously, they've gotten kind of away from the color schemes of them, which didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but with Rogue, with Gambit, and with Nightcrawler, it looks like they've stayed pretty true to stuff that actually makes sense. So we'll fast forward. Nice cover by Ed McGuinness. He's one of my favorite artists, so that's kind of cool. 2014, I'm actually kind of surprised I haven't read this. I guess I haven't been in comics for a while. So anyways, this is not an issue that I've read or I'm familiar with. I don't know, is Amazing X-Men good, guys? Let me know. So we're going to be demoing a level 86 Nightcrawler. Again, he is a purple, red, blue. His health looks a little bit, I want to say it's a little bit low, not sure. It's hard to kind of gauge when these guys are at such low levels. Let's look at his powers, though. They're kind of interesting. So his first one is Bamf. It's got to be Bamf, right? It's a 7, it's a purple, and it's relatively cheap, not bad. I feel like this is a power that's going to be used quite often. So, with a puff of smoke and brimstone, Nightcrawler teleports away from danger and into position to strike, converts up to 8 basic tiles of the color most present on the board. So that's at level 5. Let's take a look at level 3. At level 3, it's 6. If you kind of just go through the powers, the only thing that really changes about this is the number of tiles on the board that get converted to the most present color. So we'll take a look at 3. If the enemy would deal damage, team damage to Nightcrawler, make him airborne for 1 turn instead. So, not 100% sure what that means. What I'm interpreting is if it's like a attack that hits all of the team, then he's going to dodge it and go airborne for a turn, because I'm assuming that if you're just doing match damage to him, if he goes airborne every turn, then he'll be impervious, immortal, whatever. So I don't think that's the case. I think it's just team damage, which is nice. So he's going to avoid like all these massive hits that the team takes, which I'm assuming. If he takes the damage then goes airborne, that's not really that great. But we'll see. I mean, hopefully Quake does her Quake ability, and we can see how that affects a Nightcrawler. So this power isn't too expensive, and it's interesting. So the board is 64 tiles at 5, which I'm assuming you probably want to keep this ability at. He's going to turn 1/8 of the board into the most common color of the board. So what I'm assuming is that this is going to make at least a couple of 3s. It's going to be kind of like a board shuffle. It's going to get you a bunch of AP. And if you do this in, you know, a color that's really good for you, it could be pretty good. Sounds like this might be an ability which you might want to stockpile. If you imagine you could cast this like twice in a row, I'm pretty sure you could do some pretty crazy stuff to the board and get like a ton of AP. So the one thing that's nice about this also is that it's not based on level. So even if you have a really low level Nightcrawler, if you have 5 covers and BAMF, you're going to get the max out of this power, which is nice. So this could be kind of a beneficial power, beneficial reason to have Nightcrawler on your team. Okay, so anyways, moving along. His next powers is red, it's 9, it's Unguard. And 9's kind of getting up there in price. And this is a pretty standard looking power. So Nightcrawler swings dual sabers with a smile on his face, swashbuckling with superhuman agility. Deals, let's take a look at the 3 cover version first. Deals 1,512 damage if you have 12 or more AP in your strongest color. Deals 2516 damage instead. If we take a look at the 5 cover version of this, deals 3,025 damage. If you have 10 or more AP in your strongest color, deals 4859 instead. So that's a pretty significant leap from 3 to 5. It's like the power almost doubles in both the initial and if you have the requisite AP. If you have 5 covers, then you need 2 AP less. So if you use, what's this, BAMF, and you're able to make a whole bunch of matches and get a whole bunch of AP, and for some reason the board is your strongest color, you can use this in conjunction with Unguard and get a good boost of damage out of it. I just want to jump back and take a look at what his strongest color is, because if it's red, then that really works. No, so it's purple. So if you pair him up with someone who's red, that's kind of a double whammy, because then you could get a whole bunch of red and then also be ready to do extra damage with Unguard. But really, this is kind of a stock power. You know, a lot of characters have kind of like a big, you know, damaging power, and I feel like that's what Unguard is for Nightcrawler. So it's nice, you know, you have a bunch of AP, deal a little bit more damage, but nothing too spectacular that we haven't seen out of any other characters so far. So his last power is Everywhere at Once. It's a 12, it's a blue, it's a little bit expensive. So leaping in and out of the shadows, Nightcrawler uses enemy confusion to disarm and disorient. Deals at 3 covers 92 damage for each point of AP in the enemy's strongest color, and steals 2 of that AP. If we get up to 5, deals 157 damage for each point of AP in the enemy's strongest color, and steals 4 of that AP. So this one is kind of different. I can't really think of anything that's kind of like this. But I don't really know if it'll be super useful. So this power, again, is all about kind of damaging your enemy if they're stockpiling AP. And let's see, in the enemy's strongest color. Okay, so it's strongest color. It's not just any random AP. So that's a factor too, because generally your strongest color, or an enemy team's strongest color, is a color that they have as an active. So the one thing I don't really like about this power is that I feel like if you're using Nightcrawler and playing against the computer, which you are, I can't recall a lot of times where the computer's actually stockpiling AP. You know, it's pretty much as soon as, like, the computer has enough AP to use an ability, they kind of just use it on you. It's not really a thing where, you know, they're gonna hoard like 30 AP. So maybe if for some reason they get a whole bunch of cascades and this and that and everything like that, and somehow they end their turn but have like maybe 30 AP or close to 20 something AP, then you can get a lot of damage out of this power. But for the most part, I can't really see this being a thing where you get more than, like, I don't know, 10, 15, you know, AP as the maximum. So it really depends on, like, what this damage ends up being when Nightcrawler gets stronger. So right now, 157 doesn't seem like a whole ton. When I first saw this, I was kind of thinking a little bit like X-Force Wolverine and Patch Wolverine, where they kind of do, you know, a damaging attack, and it's based off of how many tiles have their mark, and that's kind of like a toss-up. But I feel like those powers, you can get way more off of those than you probably do with this, just because the max is 30 AP, and I doubt most of the time you're going to see anything really close to that. If this was something like in, you know, the enemy's highest AP pool, this could be pretty damaging because there's probably some AP color that the enemy team has that is really high that they're not using. Maybe it's like some kind of color that's a passive. You see this a lot. But this is the strongest color. They're probably using it. I can't see it getting like that high. The other perk of this is you steal 2 AP at 3 covers and 4 at 12. Again, for like a 12 costing power, that's not really a lot. So I'd be curious kind of just to see how this plays out. It doesn't really have a lot of stuff going for me. So right now, out of the gates, I would say he probably has a pretty good offensive ability. He has an ability which can create AP and tile shuffle, and I'm not sure exactly where Everywhere at Once kind of falls. So anyways, let's jump into a match with him and just see how he plays. Free characters. We lose nothing. But we did learn some stuff. And that thing is a dick. Alright. We have a 5 here. And we have another 5 here. We have another 5 here. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing, just build towards purple. I think we can play a little bit faster. I think I have an idea of what I want to do. Okay. Well, obviously, Nightcrawler can take damage. And he's not going airborne. So, I'm gonna stick with my original assertion that it's like team damage. So, that was sweet. Okay, so we have red. So it deals 3,000, 25. I have 10 or more AP and on strongest color purple. And I don't. So let's do that. Let's get some blue here. It'd be nice to get rid of some of these stupid yellow tiles. Let's get rid of. We don't want to get hit with another Yancey Street special. See, the AP for the enemy team is like really low right now, so I'm not really looking forward to. Let's see, what do we want to do? Double. So his strongest is yellow. That's not cool. His strongest is yellow, not cool. Her strongest is green. How about that? Let's see that. Okay, continue beating up on thing right here. That's ridiculous. Okay. Alright, so what do we got here? Alright, now I gotta do some counting again. Well, yellow. Okay, yellow is obviously the, most whatever color, so let's do this, and I think that ought to get rid of some tiles here. Nice. That's kind of what I wanted. And do we have... oh, we don't have 10 purple anymore. Alright, if we use everywhere at once, we'll get red. And what do they have? Their strongest color, which is red, and they have 2, so that's nothing. Oh boy. Someone's gonna get Yancey'd. What do we got here? They're still pretty low. Although we're gonna get another Captain Falcon, Wings of Liberty. This is not a great fight to be demoing a character with, that's all I can say, because this is gonna be kind of frustrating. Alright, well, if they don't match purple... jeez. Holy hell. What are we getting? I feel like Rogue is gonna go crazy in a minute. Green? Nope, not really. Okay, so do we have enough purple? Nope, still not enough purple. Red. Alright. Good grief, this fight's taking a while. And let me guess, we have 7 purple, so his blue really has not been a factor, which is not disappointing, but disappointing. Good grief. I just want to get one more purple. Ridiculous. Well, I can use, let's just make everybody invisible. Okay. I thought everybody goes invisible with that. Alright. What do we got? God, just give me some purple. So someone's gonna get Yancey'd. Oh, clobbering time. Well, wait. Okay, so now is when we could use everywhere at once. So at least he doesn't have enough. Wait, what? Wasn't I supposed to steal 2 AP? Didn't he have 10? What happened? Alright, anyways, he's gonna get clobbered. Well, let's see. Okay, so everybody's invisible, and that saves Nightcrawler, so we don't have to restart this nonsense again. Okay, so we have 10. Let's do On Guard. Hopefully that'll be enough to kill Thing. Do I steal any green? See, look, yeah. Wait, what's going on here? Am I going crazy? Deals 92 damage for each one AP in the enemy's strongest color and steals 2 of that AP. Well, it was green, but he didn't steal any green. So I think Everywhere at Once is broken. I don't know, I mean, I could be losing my mind or not right, but I feel like he's not stealing any AP, and I don't know why. Alright, more than anything, I really just want to get out of this fight. Okay, there we go. So there we go, Nightcrawler. Overwhelmingly strong, obviously. I kind of stand where I was initially. I think purple is probably like the most valuable and interesting power that he has. You can get a lot of AP, whether that's useful to you or not. It depends on what color is on the board. And more than anything, I kind of see it as a tile shuffle. It was pretty good for getting rid of the yellows, and it was, you know, whatever the heck was on the board. Definitely made matches and got AP. Again, whether that AP was useful, actually really wasn't too useful in this situation because there wasn't a lot of purple and red. So I think it's going to be luck of the draw. And red was just as expected. You know, moderately damaging and based off of, you know, whether you had purple or not. So you definitely want to fire off red if you have enough purple and then cast purple. And blue is, again, disappointing at this level and number of covers. It really doesn't do a whole lot of damage, and I actually think it's broken right now because from what I was seeing, wasn't stealing any AP. So one of the things that I had not considered with the previous characters was their defensive abilities. So I made a lot of comments about Rogue and Gambit offensively, and actually they're really good defensive characters as well. So just playing against them in the past couple events, you know, it's not a fun fighting against those guys. And with Nightcrawler, I'm wondering if that might be the same thing. Again, Bamf is cheap. You know, he's paired with some guys who do a lot of damage, and it ends up being one of those situations where they get a lot of AP. That could be a thing. He's not going to be great with Gambit or anything like that because he's got a red and he's got a purple, so he's pretty much useless. Yeah, I guess like it'll take a couple matches and stuff to see how he stacks up. I don't know if I'd call him as much of a defensive player as Rogue and Gambit. Like, Rogue is just a pain with her take the charge. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not as excited about Nightcrawler as I am about Gambit. And Rogue was whatever. I think I'd say with the release of these X-Men, Gambit's my favorite. Rogue maybe at number 2, and then Nightcrawler is 3, but we'll see. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about Nightcrawler, if they're like faithful to his powers, what you think about him, if there's something missing, how do you think he impacts the game. And thanks for watching, guys. Take care.